Hello, and welcome back to the Morningwood Chronicles. My name is Gerard, I'm 60 years old, and today is day 36 of a 180-day experiment to see if artificial intelligence can help guide me back towards metabolic health. Specifically, can it help me to regulate my blood work results and get my labs back into normal range? Can it help me persuade my doctor to reduce or eliminate medication I've been taking for 6 years to address diabetes and high blood pressure? And can it help me, even with a little luck, to regain my morning vitality, if you know what I mean? Let's dig in. I am currently at the end of phase 1 and beginning of phase 2 of a metabolic reset. And over the last 36 days, in each video, I have reviewed various parts of that process, beginning with how my lifestyle used to be, what my blood labs were, and I've shared all of my blood work for the last 6 years in my Substack. There's a link below in the description for anybody who's interested. And I covered also in detail the recommendations that ChatGPT made specifically for my situation, the things I needed to change in my life, in my lifestyle, in my behavior to try and achieve my health objectives. And currently, I am spending this week and next week, each day talking about a specific challenge or surprise that met me during this metabolic reset. And today I'd like to share with you my experience that would fall into the challenge category. I've said many times on these videos that I don't consider what I'm doing to be a diet, because I'm not counting calories and I'm not restricting calories and I'm not depriving myself. I'm not experiencing hunger. But what I eat certainly did change, because I had to cut out refined carbs, which was a big part of my diet all my life. Everything from Snickers bars and pizzas to pasta and rice. I love it all. But for the purposes of what I'm trying to achieve, I had to set those things aside, especially in phase 1, when I was trying to send a very clear signal to my body that we're going to do things differently. So phase 1 has been a very strict adherence to a new way of eating for me. In particular, sequencing of my proteins, fibers, acids, and carbs, and a significant reduction in refined carbs. Now, after 60 years of eating the way I had been, this is a shock to the system. And so I wouldn't want to give the impression that the changes in my eating were easy. It took some adjusting. And the story I'd like to share this morning is what happened when I really cut out the carbs, and as a result, naturally the fats, in particular, the fat content of my diet really changed. I started to feel a sort of fullness, almost nausea, especially up here in my throat and my upper chest, from eating all this protein and this fat. So for example, steak, high in protein, and in fat, and yogurts and I was missing the crunchy, sugary stuff. And so I got onto ChatGPT and I realized I was telling myself, Gerard, you really need more fruit. I love fruit, and I just felt I needed more fruit. And so I made some adjustments. These adjustments were not led by artificial intelligence. They were led by me listening to my body, and my body also giving feedback about what I need. And that's a very important point here. I think nobody would be well advised to blindly follow the recommendations of a computer program without using common sense and verification and making sure that this is something that is not dangerous. And so I started adding more fruit into my diet, sequenced, so often at the end of a meal and before a walk. Granny Smith apples and berries have worked very well. I started adding citrus to the type of yogurt that ChatGPT said I could eat. Squeeze of lime or lemon. And over the course of a few days, that satiety of richness, of fattiness that I was feeling went away. And I haven't experienced it again since, because I've made the proper adjustments. And so that's one of the challenges I wanted to share here from the forests of Washington State. And I thank you for tuning in to this edition, and I hope to see you here again tomorrow for another shot at the Morningwood Chronicles.